We're the industry trade association for the dietary supplement and functional food industry. As you may know, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary at this conference. So we've been around now since 1973, hopefully protecting the industry and growing the industry on behalf of our members.
Well, let's talk major events, because we had a seminar this morning with Dr. Robert Califf from FDA. Kudos to you for really driving for those answers.
Yes.
Can you give us some of your major takeaways from that session?
I guess one of the things that I heard him say was that we're not going to see a lot more regulation out of the industry, or a lot more regulation of the industry out of FDA, because there is no resource mechanism to make that happen. I heard him mention user fees in other industries, and I think that's certainly not something that we're interested in having a conversation around user fees. But I was a little disheartened, I guess, because it does not sound like we're going to get the level of attention at the agency that I think this industry deserves, given that 3 out of 4 Americans are using our products. Now, we also heard that he's part of that 1/4 of Americans that does not use
hear that.
That was a little disappointing to hear that. As a cardiologist and a healthcare professional, that he doesn't really see the value in the products. Equally important was when we started to talk about the reorganization at FDA, he said very emphatically, no reduction in resources, no reduction in staff, no reduction in attention. So I think it will be interesting 6 months from now, a year from now, if the reorganization does go through, are they good with their word? Do they really mean that? But I think for us, we're really concerned that as little attention as we're getting at the agency now, we may get even less under the reorganization. Well, let's start with the Federal Trade Commission. I think the concern there is this new guidance they have around advertising for health products, which includes dietary supplements. And there's a difference between what they say and what they do. So if you read the guidance, it really would suggest that all healthcare products, regardless of the nature of the claim, would require randomized clinical trials in order to support the claim. And if you don't have those, you can't make the claim. In formal conversations with the agency, they say, well, that's not really what we meant. And it really, we're going to have enforcement discretion on where we focus our resources. But for us, the problem is that there's a guidance out there that says one thing, and it does not reflect, in fact, what the courts have said about structure function claims. So as you know, we've just recently filed a citizens petition. We're not looking for a scorched earth kind of approach to the Federal Trade Commission. We're looking to sit down and have a frank conversation about what are they doing, and does the guidance reflect how they're actually enforcing laws. That's FTC. A bigger concern for us is this whole issue of drug preclusion. And this is the provision in the law that says that if you're a pharmaceutical and you get to market first, you get a monopoly over the ingredient. And what we have seen is that while it made some sense in 1994 that they wanted to protect all of that investment that goes into pharmaceuticals, what has happened since then is that it's being interpreted in a way that changes the balance, and it unfairly tilts towards pharmaceuticals. So they are definitely supporting innovation on that side of the marketplace, but they're not doing anything to equally support innovation for dietary supplements. And as we saw with NMN recently, the folks made the product, went to FDA, got a non-objection letter, and then 4 months later, FDA said, well, no, we got it wrong. We missed some research. And so this idea that companies could be invested in an ingredient, and then there's a double secret date as to when the IND was originally filed with the agency that no one knows about. You could put a lot of money into that. You could invest in not only the safety and clinical research, but then even into the marketing of it, and then find out that you have to pull the product. I think we're at an impasse with the agency on CBD, and that's why we have focused all of our attention these days to Congress. It's very clear to us that FDA is dug in, and we fundamentally disagree with their position. They're taking this viewpoint that CBD cannot be effectively regulated through the dietary supplement channel and the framework that goes with that.